So, just talking to the camera. So, pink. So if you have a self-invested personal pension and you're managing your own shares in there, should you consider putting individual companies in there, individual equities? Well, I suppose they're highly volatile. So there's a lot of risk involved, and this is a pension portfolio. It's not an investment portfolio where you're looking for large returns. You're looking for lower risk, really, with a pension, aren't you? So maybe if you're due to retire, it's not so much of a good idea. What about if you're, say, 25 and you've got a minimum of 30 years left? Should you at that point then be taking higher risks and buying individual shares? So 30 years ago was 1994, and 72% of the companies that were in the FTSE 100 in 1994 are no longer in the FTSE 100. So if you'd have bought a lot of them companies back in 1994, then they're not doing as well today as they were back then. So maybe real long-term investments in single companies is not a great idea either. I mean, you may have picked Woolworths, you may have picked MFI, and as we know, they're no longer around. So would I include them in my portfolio? Yes, I do. I think I've got a good reason why I do. So I have 95% of my portfolio in low and medium risks. I have a further 2% in cash, and I have 3% in high risk, and then 3% are in individual equities. Now, the reason I do that is I've got a very itchy trigger finger. So having the ability to go in and buy some individual shares with just 3% of my portfolio really prevents me from going and fiddling too much with my ETFs, which are the mainstay, my money markets, which are the low risk, my ETFs, which are the medium risks. So the fact that I can play a little bit with my 3% of shares allows me to keep my fingers off the buy button for buy and sell button for my ETFs. So a few weeks ago, I bought a few individual shares, which I'll put up on screen here, and you can see the return I've got. So actually, based on this, 25% overall on them different shares that I bought, 25% upside, which over them few weeks is pretty good. Now, could have gone 25% the other way, but as I say, for me, who suffers with an itchy trigger finger when it comes to buying and selling shares, I find it works for me. I wouldn't suggest it for anyone else, particularly if you have some self-control. Then buying individual stocks in individual businesses doesn't really play any kind of sensible role within a pension portfolio, a SIPP portfolio, I believe anyway. If anyone else thinks different, please let me know in the comments. Thanks.